What is a Sun Salutation A? If you're relatively new to yoga and you're looking to get into it, but some of the terms are a little bit intimidating, a great place to start is with a Sun Salutation A. Another name you might hear for it is Surya Namaskar A, and it's kind of a backbone of a lot of yoga classes. So if you can get comfortable with this, it yet again is a great starting point. So come to meet me at the top of your mat. If you're brand new to yoga, you might want to watch for this first round because I'm going to go a little bit slower, talk it through, show you different variations you can do of the different steps to make it more easy or more difficult. And then we'll do 4 more rounds a little bit quicker so that you can feel the flow and the rhythm of it and start connecting your breath to your movement, which is one of the ultimate goals of yoga asana. So the physical practice of yoga, it is meant to be a moving meditation. We start in what is known as Tadasana or mountain pose. From here, we have our toes touching and a slight gap between our heels. Some teachers might ask 4 feet hip distance apart. In our mountain pose, think of a mountain, strong, sturdy, formidable. That's what we want to do. Hands are typically down by your side, palms facing forward, gaze is straight ahead. One of my favorite cues here is to be proud in the chest. So you can roll your shoulder blades down and back your spine, but humble in the head. You can also imagine a rope attached to the crown of your head, someone pulling up on it so you should feel yourself growing a little bit taller. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up. You can bring your gaze, also known as your dristi, between your thumbs. From here, we exhale and fold forward. Arms can come to the side, straight down, whatever kind of works for you. And now we're in this forward fold. A lot of people have very tight hamstrings, so if you need to have this generous bend in your knees, then by all means do so. It's also a tendency of people to really round through the spine here. You can see the difference in the shape. I really like to cue keeping a flat back. Even getting a flat back can be really hard for people. So think of puffing your chest forward, squeezing your shoulder blades together. You can bring your arms up if that helps, and keep more of a neutral neck. So we're not jutting the chin up. We're not tucking the chin down. It's in more of a middle ground, neutral position. And it doesn't matter how much your knees are bent. If you feel ridiculous, that's fine. And with time, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit more. The next inhale, we come to a half lift. So keeping that flat back, and this is very common to see with people. Pull your chest through, squeeze your shoulder blades together. There might be a muscular imbalance for you. So bringing your arms behind your back might also help you get flatter of a back if you find you are rounding a lot. And then on the next exhale, we plant the palms and we're going to step back to a plank position. Now this is a pretty physically demanding pose, so if you're a beginner in the sense where you don't have a lot of strength either, you can lower to your knees as you start building up the strength, so we're not completely taxing ourselves right from the get-go. So I'm going to show you a beginner version of chaturanga. What chaturanga is, and you can keep your toes tucked, maybe cross your ankles, maybe bring your heels closer towards your bum, but you want to shift your weight forward a little bit so your shoulders are a bit past your wrists, and then hugging the elbows in so that they skim the sides of your body, we lower down. And for this first one, we're going to come all the way down and just do a gentle cobra here. So using strength, not pushing through the hands. Think of lengthening your tailbone to protect your lower back. Building up strength again through that back. This will help with our flat backs too because we're squeezing our shoulder blades together. Normally, once you get a little warmed up, we do an upward facing dog, but we'll do that on the next round. I always like to warm up with a cobra. From here, now you can push through the hands, come through the knees, tuck the toes, and we're exhaling back to our downward facing dog. Now downward facing dog, again, I see a lot of this with downward facing dog. So your shoulders might be really tight and you might need to work on opening up, but what you're trying to do is pull your chest through so that you're getting your biceps beside your ears or as close as possible. And again, if your hamstrings are really tight, you might have a very generous bend in the knees here. Your heels might be very far from the ground. But with time, you can start straightening the legs. Maybe your heels one day, maybe years from now, will come towards the mat, but we're not in a rush to get there. Sometimes we hold downward facing dog for a couple rounds of breath. But now we're ready to complete this Sun Salutation A and move on to the next one. So on the next inhale, look between the hands, come up on the toes, bend the knees, and you can tiptoe or just take fewer steps to get to the top of the mat. Half lift, exhale, come back to this fold, generous bend. Some people like to inhale coming up with a flat back. I really like to inhale coming up with a rounded back. Arms come up overhead. Bring your gaze, your dristi back between your thumbs. Exhale, hands down by your side. And you've completed one cycle of Sun Salutation A. So well done. We're going to do another round of that, this time with an actual upward facing dog. And I'll show you chaturanga from a full plank. But again, you're more than welcome to keep doing this from the knees as you build up strength. Take a breath. Let's begin. Inhale, arms up. Gaze is between the thumbs. Exhale, fold, generous, bend in the knees. Inhale, half lift, nice flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step the feet back. Try high plank with me if your strength allows it. Now we're going to shift forward, hug the elbows in, chaturanga from here, and we're hovering an inch or two off the mat. Untuck the toes to inhale for now our upward facing dog. So we're trying to keep our thighs, our legs up off the mat, just the tops of the feet are touching. But if you need to lower the legs, as you again build up strength and get used to this, then by all means do so. If the shoulders are really shrugged up by the ears, push them out away. We want to create distance between the shoulders and the ears. And from here, exhale, coming to our downward facing dog. One round of breath. And again, if you have that bend, if your heels are up, if your shoulders are tight, that's fine. Just be mindful of these things and work on them. Next inhale, look between the hands, come up on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need. Half lift, exhale, fold, generous bend in the knees. Inhale, round up one vertebrae at a time, arms come up. Exhale, arms down by your side. That's round two. Let's do the last three rounds a little bit quicker. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Hop or step back, high plank or lower to your knees. Shift forward, chaturanga, elbows are touching the sides of the body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One round of breath. Next inhale, look between the hands, come up on the toes, bend the knees. Take as many steps as you need to get to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round up. Exhale, arms down by the side. Two more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back, lower to your knees if you'd like, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One round of breath. Next inhale, look between the hands, up on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step, top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rounding up. Exhale, arms down by the side. Last one, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step the feet back. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath here. Slow everything down. Lower to the knees. Come to a comfortable seated position of your choice. Keep slowing your breath. Sun Salutation A's are a great way to get the blood flowing and to warm up. A lot of yoga classes that you attend virtually online or in person will a lot of times implement Sun Salutation A's. So Well done on learning what that is. You've now got a basic component of yoga asana under your belt. Bring your hands through to heart center, close out your eyes. Take a moment of gratitude for learning something new, for showing up for yourself. And in closing, we say, Namaste.